blues are alive and well when Sandra Hall and Francine Reed are in town. On Monday nights, Francine fans make their weekly pilgrimage to Fuzzy's place. They know Francine will serve up a large helping of the blues. You certainly can't tell by her performance, but singing the blues is a relatively new thing for Francine.
When I came here to Atlanta is when I really started, because the record company, Itchabon, put me on a blues happening.
Off the beaten path in Cloudland, Georgia, a lifelong dream is coming true for a retired DeKalb County couple. It's called Camp Woodmont. The bell marks the start of a new day at Camp Woodmont. The children gather together and then split off into groups for their daily activities. For Jane and Jim Bennett, it's just as they had always dreamed it would be. An image caught in a few hundredths of a second can last forever. Fine art photography mixes together time, place, and emotion. The end product is a small piece of history. In an effort to bring more awareness and availability to this art, Atlanta Celebrates Photography was born.
Atlanta Celebrates Photography came as the result of wishes of a lot of people in the Atlanta community to take advantage of all the resources that we have in photography.
Resources that made it possible to have 50 different exhibits going on all at once, from fine art galleries like Soho Myriad to public spaces like Hartsfield Airport.
Dear Mr. Ripley.
Dear Mr. Ripley.
Dear Mr. Ripley.
Dear Mr. Ripley. Dear Mr. Ripley.
Dear Mr. Ripley. A salutation no doubt written millions of times from people all over the United States. Ripley had the dubious honor of receiving more mail than anyone else in history, and it all started with a simple cartoon. The Daily Ripley's cartoon became so popular in the New York area that in 1929 he was hired by King Features Syndicate and brought into millions of homes all across the country.
Well, as Ripley became more and more famous with his cartoons and developed more and more readership, people aspired to be featured in the cartoons, and it was not sufficient to write an acclaim to Ripley's. They felt that it was essential to include a snapshot.
Dear Mr. Ripley, I enclose a photograph of one other outstanding feat by Alice Penfold. That is, lifting her sister Mary on a stool by her teeth only.
Dear Sir, would it interest you to know that I have a young lady living with me that can lap her tongue over at the tip about an inch and it will remain there? Try yours to see if you can do it.
Props clear.
If you love airplanes, then you've probably heard of Sam Lyons. His photorealistic renderings of military and vintage aircraft have been a hit at air shows all across the country. Sam and his wife Vicki traveled the air show circuit for many years and had built quite a following. So how exactly did this self-taught artist go from a hobby shop owner to one of today's most respected aviation artists? One word: Vicki.
She encouraged me to just close the hobby shop up and go into the artwork full time. She pushed him to do the things that she knew he could do, which and I think all of us knew he could do. I wouldn't be here talking to you right now about artwork if I hadn't had Vicki with me, yeah.
So with Vicki's drive and Sam's talent, the business thrived. They soon bought their second airplane, a Piper Cub, and the couple was flying high. With a backlog of commissioned work to do and his signed prints selling briskly at the air shows, Sam and Vicki thought they would never see hard times again. Then last June, near Dawson, Maryland, it all literally came crashing down.
A woman is dead this morning after a bizarre double plane crash in western Maryland. Investigators say...
Basically, we'd gotten beat around pretty bad, but I think it was a survivable crash. And I kind of got my wits about me for a second, and I said, well, we're down, we're okay. And about that time, the airplane exploded.
And unfortunately, Vicky was sitting in front of me, and she took the brunt of the explosion.
A lot happens when you put on a hat. The way people perceive you and the way you look at yourself can change. You can become mysterious, sophisticated, and of course, sexy.
Hats are sexy, and hats make a person sexy. But you have to wear the hat. You cannot be sexy if the hat is wearing you. That's all the difference in the world right there.
You can leave your hat on. You can leave your hat on. You can leave your hat on.
When you have a hat on, people react to you. They can't help it. Men especially, as they're coming towards you, the grin starts getting bigger and bigger, and right as they're right up upon you, that's when they get it out and they're like, nice hat. It's hysterical.
Well, even though wearing a hat might help you meet men, Blythe says it shouldn't be the only reason to wear one. It's about being yourself and making a statement that you enjoy life to the fullest. Blythe has done just that, giving everything to her hats and getting so much in return.
It's a bounty to have hats in your life and to be able to give this to other people and to keep it with you in your heart. Put a hat on your head and a smile on your face and the world will be a better place.